welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Crazy Willie Hoffmeyer, and joining me is Norbert, Independence, Morvan, and Niall, Freedom, More.
Does that mean I'm the one that actually lands successfully?
Oh, I didn't even consider that when I brought that up.
What are the odds you kill the black guy in the science fiction movie? What are the odds?
Yeah.
Wait,
Jesus Christ.
no, you survived. You're with Storm Air, Clark Duncan, and AJ Ben Affleck on the Tumbler with the machine gun.
Dude, Owen Wilson bites it horribly, son.
Oh yeah.
And the pilots get not only blasted in the face by space debris, but then they get ejected, and then they get to bounce off the other ship.
Yeah, that's some Rennie Harlan deaths right there. Like they get the triple.
It really is. It really is. It's gross, man. It's gross. But they should have listened to my man Keith David when he just straight up suggested, why don't we just shoot 150 nuclear missiles up there to blow the thing out of the sky?
I cannot take Keith David seriously in this movie at all, because I've been watching Rick and Morty where he plays the president, and I'm just like picturing like the president saying this. I'm just like,
that's
oh
right.
My God, like Keith David is just legendary.
Watching Keith David and Billy Bob Thornton on screen just makes me so happy seeing that duo right there. And all right, so I was watching this movie, and I think what I love most about it is like they have like I'm a simple guy when I watch movies. Just tell me what's going on. At least try to explain something, and I'm like, cool, you tried to explain it. So I love when they're like, we got to blow up the meteor from the inside. It's like a cherry bomb, and then they're like, why didn't you see this meteor asteroid that's the size of Texas? We have $1 million budget. We can only see like 0.3% of the sky. It's a big ass sky. Like just, I love that movie where they just keep. We went 17 miles off target, or 27 miles away from where we're supposed to be. And I just love this. I love that Armageddon just gives me that. Like they got 90% of their fuel. Like there's an 80-yard line in it after the space station blows up, but they make sure to tell us they got 90% of their fuel. And that's what I love about this movie is it's just. There's little lines in there that just explain things to me very simply. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, that works. I like it.
This is a tactic that they also employed in Star Trek First Contact. The Borg are employing a tachyon pulse, surrounding themselves in a gravitational field. And then Riker comes out, time travel. In case you didn't understand. in case you didn't understand all that Star Trek gobbledygook.
It's like, here's the techno babble, and then here's the straight man telling you, it's like, this means that we're
Exactly. Well, we're going to create a slingshot and surround it with Einsteinian particles. Wow, like putting an acorn in a slingshot.
Oh, it's like Wile E. Coyote.
Exactly.
I love it, though. This whole movie is that. It's just those little lines, and it made me so happy. And I also got thinking, too, Niall, so like, Norbert and I watched this. I'm assuming Norbert saw it in the States. Like, you were in New York, Norbert. I was in Florida. Theaters erupted for this movie. But I'm assuming now you were in Ireland when this came out. What was it like? Did you see it in the theater?
Yeah. So that was so my uncle at the time, he still is actually, was the projectionist at the local theater. So
he's still your uncle, or he's still the projectionist?
He's still the projectionist. So basically, what I wanted to do when I wanted to see a movie, I would just call him up. It's like, hey, Peter, can I come to work with you today? And I just have to like take tickets on the door, and I'd get to see a movie for free. Oh. And so that was one of the ones I saw that summer. It was Armageddon. It was full theater. Yeah, it was pretty popular as far as I remember.
Because it's just the most rah American experience on the planet. I mean, this is. I have a question for y'all too. Like, aside from like Jurassic Park and a few other things, what's a better summer popcorn blockbuster out there? I mean, this came out in '98. Michael Bay directed. It was the highest grossing movie of the year. It made $554 million worldwide. Yeah. Like, what?
Independence Day.
I was just gonna say because those two movies specifically. I was of the age, too, where I still kind of believed in humanity and America and all of that stuff. So the very first thing that gets shot by the pieces of the asteroid, American flag patch on the guy's suit. OK, there's no way that, Michael Bay did not say, OK, so we're going to totally just shoot the flag on his arm. And because that hits you. And whoa, man, what's going on? You know,
Mm-hmm.
you get all of these shots of the American flag throughout this movie. It is everywhere. Bruce Willis is standing in front of a flag. They shoot the flag patch. There's just American flags flying in just random places. Okay. And then 11 minutes into the movie, you've had dozens, if not hundreds of explosions to the point where they even blew up the goddamn title of the movie. It doesn't get much more American than that, man. With the epic gravitas of Charlton Heston. It happened before, and it'll happen again.
65 million years ago. They brought him in to add some, like, a lot of people worried it was a silly movie, so they just go, just put Charlton Heston in the beginning of it, make him do some narration, and people will be on board with it.
Gravitas.
Yeah, the computer graphics department obviously didn't do their research because the continents of Earth didn't look like they do now 65 million years ago. It's like it's hitting like a perfectly formed like Yucatan like peninsula or whatever, and it's like that wasn't there.
Oh wow, I didn't even think about that.
You're going to try the concept of Pangea to Michael Bay. I mean,
You know what I love about him too is I was doing some research for this movie and they were talking about asteroids, meteors, like comets, all that kind of stuff, and they were explaining what they actually look like. He's like, I don't want that. He's like, make it look mean. So, but that's what I adore about Michael Bay. Like they showed him the science.
Styrofoam, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I just love that he's like, I don't care what they actually look like. Just make me a really mean asteroid. I want it to look mean. So they have the asteroid growls. There's growling to it.
Absolutely.
And it's beautiful. Like I think some Neil deGrasse Tyson watched this and he did like a tweet, like he tweeted about it saying how ridiculous it is. I'm like, yeah, but that's the point. If he watched a movie called Real Life Comet and it's unscientific, sure, but he's watching Armageddon, a summer blockbuster that takes place on another world that features miners, the best miners in the world, going to space to drill a hole in a thing and then blow it up and split it so it splits between Earth. Like it seems like a weird movie for me to criticize the science on because it doesn't even try. I don't think
it doesn't get.
Well, the thing is, like, Michael Bay is even quoted like as saying this in the movie, that it's like you can't have fires in space, and Michael Bay is like, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah,
like I want fire.
Yeah,
I want it. Michael Bay is a 12-year-old with $1 billion budget every year.
Absolutely.
And that's it. He wants what he wants. Like you said before, the Armageddon toys, that's the reason why there are guns in outer space. Yeah, just like Chick said, why do you have a gun in space? The toys, you idiot.
Yeah. I looked them up on eBay and they're selling them.
Guns sell better.
It's true though, right? Like you have a movie like Jurassic Park, put a gun on the raptor. Like, oh, okay, cool. Like that.
I think I had that toy.
The gun on the raptor?
You know you did.
It's like,
wasn't there like a TV show, like an animated show, which had like battle dinosaurs or something?
Oh, yep, I do remember that. Yeah.
Dinosaurs.
Like if they did a Forrest Gump toy line, Jenny would have an Uzi. Like I just think put a gun with a character in that. But knowing all this about Armageddon just made me so happy. Like Michael Bay, I guess he's notorious on film sets because he said that making a movie is like going to war, and he considers himself to be a general when he's making movies. And listen, you're moving like, on Armageddon. I bet there was 1,200 people working on it. Massive production. You have vans everywhere. You have, you probably have a city of just RVs parked. So I get it, but that's also ridiculous to say that you're in war. Like you're not in war making a movie. Like you're sipping on a LaCroix and then drinking coffee and then yelling. And so it's not, I get it, but I just think it's so funny. But that also explains Michael Bay to me. Like this dude, he makes, I don't know, there's no one out there that makes movies like him. As far as like, I would even call him an auteur because you watch his movies, like that's a Michael Bay movie. Like you know immediately what he is.
Oh yeah. Not even just by the 6,000 cuts either. You know, the way that there are certain shots where you can't really tell what's going on, the way that throughout the entire movie, there's never really a moment where it's just two people talking and no background noise whatsoever. You never get silent, you know? You are constantly being bombarded with sounds, how to feel, what to think. Oh my God, look over there. What's happening?
On that, it's like, have you heard Affleck's commentary on this? It is
Oh, it's
absolutely
beautiful.
off the charts. There's like one scene where they're still on the oil rig, and he's just like, and here's Bruce and Liv talking, and for some reason there's a helicopter in the background. I bet you wouldn't have noticed that. It's just like,
And the thing is, you want to have jokes on Batfleck, but hey, that man's an Oscar-winning writer. Okay?
Yeah.
You shut your mouth. That guy
AJ
knows what he's talking about.
yeah,
AJ
I
Frost
know.
delivers it though in it. Like Ben Affleck, when he's crying at the end with Harry, like Affleck
That was
brings
real.
it in this movie.
It's in the fields.
I know he's making. Listen, he was also like, why does everyone have to be the best? Like in the real world, you don't meet the best. You don't meet an espresso maker. I'm the best espresso maker in New York. Like you never meet the best. There's always the best in these movies. But I don't know. I got as much as he makes fun of the movie, at the end with him and Harry, that they sell
That was a
that.
real
The thing
moment.
is,
Real
you,
moment.
you also, he's making fun of it, but at the same time, you also get the real sense that he enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Like,
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. And to your earlier point, it's because this is supposed to be a high concept movie, okay? But what's the high concept here, It's not like with Adam Sandler making that crazy ass movie Pixels where the video games come to life and try to eat everybody. That was a quote unquote high concept picture. This is an asteroid comes to smash the earth. It's like literally the oldest story in human history because it happened 65 million years ago.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's not a high concept picture. So of course they're not taking it seriously. These are the guys that, hey, we get to play cops and robbers, bang bang. It's nuts. It's all
Mhm.
nuts.
And get montages where they're just singing "Leaving on a Jet Plane" and. Quick question for you two. You two work. Okay, I don't want to make either one of you the best oil driller in the world. So you work for me. I'm the best oil driller in the world, and I bring you two. I bring you. I bring you two on to go to space and drill an 800-foot hole into an asteroid. What would you request of the government?
Hazard pay, baby. I was gonna ask you this. Hazard pay. Well, we just a couple of small requests. I don't want to stay in the White House. That's one thing for sure. I definitely don't want that.
What?
Staying in the White House, sleeping in a Lincoln bed. Don't want to do that.
No.
Don't want to do that.
I mean, no taxes. That's a gimme.
I don't mind not paying taxes. I don't mind paying taxes.
Oh, I would ask for all the Criterion Blu-rays, and then all the new ones when they come out.
I want.
Of course, that's what I asked for.
I want Amazing Fantasy 15 and the entire run, Volume 1, Amazing Spider-Man 1 to issue 700.
Whoa. I take Fantastic Four *1.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't even have to be well graded. Just get me the comic.
I think I'd want just like a box at like a sports stadium, so I can just go to all of the games I want to.
Ooh.
Well, here's the thing, Niall. If we save the planet, it's not like, we're rubbing the magic lamp and we only get 3 wishes. I saved humanity.
Yeah.
Okay? So
you're never buying a beer again.
Yeah, so this is request 1 of 25. You know what I mean?
Oh, so you're gonna airheads
And
it.
who's actually going to say no?
Clearly.
It's like
Clearly.
I saved the world. Maybe like 5 years later though, Norbert, and we're out, and I'm like in a plane, and you want my seat. I saved the world. Like, oh, come on, man! Like you took my seat to Cincinnati the other week. Come on, just go take your spot.
You say that, okay, but Patrick Ewing is never going to buy a beer in New York, right?
Yeah.
LeBron James, as much as they burned his jersey, he's never going to have to pay for whatever horrible food comes from Cleveland, Ohio,
Mm-hmm. What? Those horrible food in Cleveland?
Have you ever been to Cleveland, bro?
Yeah, I have.
It's a dark place. It's one of the few places on Earth where water has been on fire.
I love some good fire water.
was it in 30 Rock? It's like